just me. There's no in between. So this
is just me.
Is just me.
Why there is no in between.
So
this ain't my scene, I'll beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I'll beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm 1 minute, then I'm just me. There's no in between. So this is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given.
Right, hi Facebook fans, and it is so exciting to be here with you again today. Today I have an absolutely incredible treat for you. So as you know, today what we're doing is discussing how to network your way to your desired net worth. Okay, so this is going to be a panel discussion. So we not only have one amazing person for you today that's going to be dropping their best tips on how to network your way to your desired net worth, but we have a whole 5 with the team supporting. So in the house, we have Wolfgang von Haram, representing all the way from Hamburg, Germany. We have the HR wizard in the house from Canada. We have Marlon August and David Dorfling bringing up the rear from South Africa. We have Stephen Westwood from the UK. And then we have me and Peter. So we'll be structuring the conversation to make sure you get the absolute most out of this session. It's going to be absolutely epic. So without further ado, I think let's start off right away. Right, so panelists, I am coming your way. The first thing I want you to share, and I'm going to be picking you in order to do this. The first thing I want you to share with our Facebook fans is your name, your country, and here's why networking works. Quick story or statement. So if I give you an example, I'll start. I'll say, Nestine Botha, South Africa. Here's why networking works. I found Wolfgang, David, Stephen, Marlon, and the HR wizard on our speed networking events platform. And I'm currently doing a show with them, bringing this to all of you. So I know for a fact networking works. Right. Okay, panelists, can we start with Stephen Westwood?
Hello. So I'm Stephen from the UK, freelance copywriter, and I've already forgotten what the other question is.
Here's why networking works.
Oh, here's why networking works. I have always been a fan of networking, and one of my best friends I actually met at a networking event, God, about 12 years ago now. God, that makes me feel old. We stay in touch and we still help each other, and we have a really strong bond and developed a network together from that as well.
That's beautiful. And you make me, Stephen, so that's why networking works some more, clearly. Sorry, getting on the spot, my friend. Okay, so we hear next up, Robert Dorfling. So I need your name, country, and here's why networking works.
Awesome. I'm David Dorfman from South Africa, and networking works for a simple reason. You meet new people that become friends, business partners, educators, and people that will walk a journey with you. In the days that you're down, they'll pick you up. When they're down, you'll pick them up.
I love that, my friend. That's absolutely stunning. Next up, can we maybe hear from Wolfgang? So Wolfgang, your name, country, and here's why networking works.
Yeah, so my name is Wolfgang from Hamburg, Germany. And networking works because when I was working with a striving entrepreneur, she came from Morocco and she tried to build up a company, and she couldn't reach the networks and that. So but she found me. And together, in 8 weeks, we helped her to get the mission off the ground. We found co-investors, IT people, and all that, and we started the company. So sometimes it's just one person you need who opens up their network to make things happen.
That's a stunning story. That's absolutely divine. Thank you for sharing. Wolfgang, I will try to remember that. I just remember the wolf part, and then I'm Wolfgang.
Yeah, just call me the wolf.
Gotcha. Awesome. So moving on from the wolf to the wizard. Wizard, we please need your name, country, and here's why networking works.
Okay, well, I can't do this without my hat. So I am Teresa Kiwasu, better known as the Wonderful Wizard of HR, and I am from Alberta, Canada. Way on the other side of the world from most of you. And why networking works for me is, first of all, look at all these wonderful people. This is right here. This is network at its finest. And in my business for the past 8 years, networking has been my #1 attraction tool for new clients, new strategic partners, new friends. The entire, I couldn't be luckier to have the community that I have in my life, and I attribute that mostly to networking.
That's absolutely stunning. Thank you so much, Wizard. Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna call him the wolf and she's the wizard. That works for me. That's awesome. Love this tribe. Okay, last but not least, Marlon, please can you tell us your name, country, and here's why networking works.
Thank you, Nastine. Well, Marlon August, I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. And why networking works, like one of the best examples or that I've ever heard is that, a person is like a portal. It's like just imagine going to a train to go, you're trying to get onto the train tracks, right? And train tracks are they're all like a network of tracks, one that leads to another. And if you look at a human being is like this portal that leads to so many other avenues. So when we network, we actually get this opportunity to connect with in so many different ways. Like Wolfgang actually said, like the wolf had said, you just find this way of just you might just find that one person that just switches you on and that connects you in such a way that you completely changes everything, better than what you would have done by yourself.
I love that so much. And that actually, Marlon, so beautiful. It's wonderful to have you on the Coffee Shop Show for the first time. Guys, for you, those of you that haven't seen him around, we haven't been hiding him. We just found him at our previous event. So we found him on Sunday and now he's here on Friday. Okay. So, but Marlon, what you touched on is the beauty of collaboration. And that's actually what I want to start off our networking tips with. So how to network. I know there's one of our panelists here that feels, well, a couple of panelists that feels really, really strongly about this. So I'm coming to you, the one and only David Dorfling. Please, can you give us your best tips? So according to you, networking, collaboration, authenticity, we have this discussion. That's your best tip in terms of how to network, right? Can you unpack that a bit for us?
Okay, yeah. When it comes to networking and working with people, your best tip will be, first of all, to listen to them. You know, it's not always good to just start talking. Like when we're at the events and we're busy listening to the different people telling their stories or sharing their pitches with us, that's a perfect time for you to sit back, take in what they're saying, and then process it. From there on, make contact with them, work with them, build them up, and then go on. You know, a good example for myself is, and I was laughing now when I saw Marlon here, me and him had a nice conversation this morning. And again, that's networking. I mean, it's amazing. Each and every person here is people that I've met here and then started working with. Wolfgang, Stephen, I haven't had the honor to speak to Teresa yet. With you and Peter, Marlon, some of the other people here also. So when it comes to that, just be bold. You know, it takes a lot to just stand up and say, listen, I want to speak to you. I want to find more out about you. And I normally tell people the first and most important part is don't do business. Immediately start finding out who the person is, what they are, what they do, find out the interest, because a friendship is more worth in networking than anything in the world. You know, money can be replaced. Friendships can't be replaced. Networking can't be replaced. So, yeah.
I love that, David. Thank you so much. And I can see from the tribe in the back seat today, Linda Daisy saying, be bold. Love that, David. And I mean, I can relate to that. So I remember when I was still starting up my first company, was an audit firm. I had to go find clients. So I had to very quickly learn how to network. And, you know, I came from a space where I was just so nervous about having to go tell people, like, what do I do? And I'm like, how do I even get them to talk to me? Because the moment I say I'm an accountant, if I open with that, guys, just do yourselves a favor, go to a networking event and start the conversation. So, hi, I'm an accountant, and see what happens. It's really fun, I promise you. People like try to, like, you know, casually get out of the way, move to the other side of the room. So I remember that. So I appreciate that advice. So the next thing I actually wanna hear now is, Teresa, you have a really, really comforting personality. And I know that you're very passionate about getting people, you know, to tell them it's okay. Like, even if you are nervous about networking, be bold and just do it and see what happens. Have fun with it and take it from there. So could you maybe elaborate on that a bit?
Yes, absolutely. Nestine, I love your story about being nervous, because I was the exact same way. Actually, I had no idea what I was doing. I came from the corporate world and I walked into my local chamber of commerce to this networking event, and it changed my life. I kind of sat there nervous, and I knew I had to stand up and say something, but I didn't know what to say. And the people there connected me with people right away to talk to, and they literally took me right under their wing, and they introduced me to more networking groups, and we just became such a close knit group of people. But we were a large amount of people. I mean, the amount of people that I met was insane. Just like Marlon was talking about the train tracks, that's how it felt. And so now I've had the privilege so many years later to be able to share that with others and show them and I get to now take people under my wing and show them how wonderful networking can be, and the relationships that I just think relationship building is the key to attracting anyone to your business. Sales, that's not a thing in my opinion. Like, I think that just being magnetic, being the person that you are, that's what this is about. And the sale happens organically, right?
Right, 100%. I mean, Teresa, like the way we think about it, and I know Stephen says this all the time, there's no such thing as competition. In this world right now, in a post-corona economy, it's called collaboration.
Which Stephen?
100%.
Stephen squared, of course. So yeah, so on that note, I actually want to, it's easy to talk the talk. It's not that easy to walk the walk. But on our panel today, we have two people that have done it really successfully. So Stephen Westford and Marlon August, the two of you do almost exactly the same thing in a large way. Am I right?
There's a lot of crossover within our areas, yeah. That is true.
So Stephen Westwood, you were one of the first tribe members to come onto the tribe, yeah?
He was the first.
Oh, yeah. Wow. You were the very first one, actually. You were the first one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just remembered. It's very cool. So, Stephen, how did you feel when you met Marlon for the first time at our networking event?
Okay, this is going to come across as cheesy, but my initial response, like outside, I was like this. Inside, I was like, yes!
So why is that, Stephen? Because, I mean, you guys do exactly the same thing. Aren't you competition for each other?
No, not in the slightest. So we have a lot of crossover with our services. It's not the exact same service, but there's a lot of crossover. And if anything, I felt like the things that I had been saying about storytelling and building relationships, and sorry, just 2 seconds. I felt like I had somebody to back me up. And not only that, I also knew that Brent and I did talk to Marlon after the event, and we had a chat. I felt like empowered by the chat because we're both on the same page. We both come from the same sort of belief system.
That's beautiful. And I mean, I've heard some amazing stories about what you guys are up to. And I personally think like that becomes a force. You know, when you're one person on your own trying to build your empire, you're one person doing just that. Like, good luck with that. I tried it. But if you're two, wow. If you're three, oh my goodness. If you're four, you're unstoppable.
Not even if your services are identical.
Agreed.
If you take the services out of the equation and you take a look at just the character types and the personalities, there will be people that will be drawn to one person's character and not to another. You know, so even if people have exactly the same services, use those circumstances to refer each other. It is still creating such a support structure within a network. So just because somebody has the same services doesn't mean that you should not be networking with them. They can actually be your biggest allies. It's absolutely amazing.
Hands down.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree because, like, I'm part of a bunch of different groups, right? So there's a group where we actually all kind of do the same thing, either in advertising specifically, or we're doing like specifically in the story, and we can bounce it off each other to critique, because that just makes your skills sharper. It gives you that perspective, because if somebody else who's doing what you do, they look at it and they say, you know, you maybe just need to brush it up on this part. It just makes you stronger at what you do. So I love the fact that Stephen actually said, like, oh, I'm so excited to someone else. We get each other, you know, because now we can be like, okay, like, and we can push each other harder. So I really I think it's just better to have more people that think the same, that even if you're in the same doing the same thing, just helps everybody become stronger.
Thank you, Marlon. Hashtag stronger together, right? I so believe in that. 100%. And that is why, you know what, I'm going to tell you a little secret, guys. Do you want to know how one of the key things, so Peter did many things, right, when he catapulted Explore ProTech into the world. One of the first things that he did was, remember, I was an accountant, doing accounting, right? That's where we started. One of the first things he did was, guess what? He found another accountant, and not just one, 4. He found 4 other accountants to support the accounting function so that each of us can focus on what we're good at. And you know what? Like, I'm still an accountant today, but I get to do these fun things, and I get to just, and the money is just rolling in the background for all of us. That is the secret of collaboration. That is just so beautiful. I want to hear though, from the Wolf. Do you agree with what we're saying, Wolfgang? I mean, I know you're on a mission to build a bridge between Germany and South Africa, or Africa. Europe and Africa, is that right?
Yeah, I want to build the bridge between Europe and Africa. And and it started off in South Africa. So what was your question?
My question is, when you're building that bridge, are you planning to do it by yourself?
You can't do it by yourself. You always have to build it on love. And there is this one thing here. And this is what my son did. And he said, you are basically, mom and dad, you're building in our family a connection of love. And actually, it took me years to understand the message. But I keep it here on my wall because having this connection between people and building on love is such a great thing. But it's like David said, is listening to the others, giving in, and of course, also I can build a rapport, I can build connections and all this. But love is a fragile thing because I can be really nice and open and sharing in 1-2 times. But if my intention afterwards is just, oh, now I'm getting a sales, right? I'm not, then there is something broken. It's like, and this is like what we see a lot of times, that people are really good in the beginning, but then they show the other side. And I think the wolf has a great heart. And so I think we all have. And this is what, when I give in networks, I get amazing things back. And my favorite story is Teresa's, when we had a talk last week. And I told you about my idea to run virtual Christmas parties. And she said, oh yeah, I have this network. I will post it there. I know like all these HR people worldwide. And I'm like, I already felt a little bit, first I felt super happy. Then I felt a little bit ashamed. And then I said like, oh, this is too much. Why? And then I felt also a little bit, why is she giving all that? And I asked, and I said like, Teresa, what do you want in return? And she said, what do you mean? We're one tribe. We're supporting each other. That's it. Yeah. And this was the moment I felt both actually really ashamed of just questioning that. But on the other hand, I felt this super strong connection. And I said like, this is what a love network is. And I know I can build on Teresa and she can build on me. And so all of you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Wolf. I mean, there are no emojis in the world. There's not enough to put up on the screen right now for the feeling that I'm feeling. That just, and oh my goodness, that just embodies like everything that this tribe is about. And you know what, guys, that is why we're going to get to that island. And
my island.
Peter's island. And that is how we're going to save the global economy, one business at a time. Because when there's more than one of you working towards that goal, each and every single person that comes in just adds another brick. And that is how amazing things get built. So, Wolf, thank you so much for sharing that. I want to move on from there and ask you. So we spoke already a lot about how to network, why networking works, and collaboration, being yourself, being bold, making those relationships, giving more than you're expecting back, and finding your tribe. What is the other tips that are on your list for our entrepreneurs out there that are looking at this and they're like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I want that, but they're not sure, like, how do I go about getting that? What are your best tips?
I can start if you'd like.
Go for it. I mean, this is all about collaboration, right?
Yeah. One of the things that was really difficult for me to learn, because I'm such an extrovert and I've been a very chatty person my whole life, is the listening aspect. Like really, really, truly listening, and not listen to listen. Listen to understand and to feel. That to me was a learned behavior, because I was always just all over the place. Blah, 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 blah. But actually listening and understanding was one of the key parts to my networking. And I couldn't believe the transformation that happened for me when I just sat and listened. It wasn't just about the relationship that we built, but I couldn't believe how different people were from each other, but we were all still so the same, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And it has just broadened my ability to connect on such a high level. So that's one key thing that I would say.
Stunning. I love it. Anyone want to comment? I mean, like at this point in time, guys, I'm done with structuring the discussion. I just want to hear more. There's so many beautiful stories coming out from across the world. So, Stephen Westford, it looks like you feel like saying something.
Yeah, so Teresa's touched on one of the most important ones, which is listening. Now, the word networking itself has connotations with doing business, making sales. And again, it's this idea of the language that we use and how it's interpreted. Networking is about making new friends. And like Teresa, I am a chatterbox. I like to talk. I'm a big extrovert. But it's also asking the right questions. And those questions aren't, oh, what do you do for business? Or how do you solve this problem for your clients? It's, what's your favorite food?
Why do you like potatoes?
Yeah, it's getting to know. Yeah. Why do I hate potatoes? Well, I hate potatoes because they're disgusting. It's about getting to know people on a personal level. That's where that relationship comes from. That's where trust comes from. And people buy from people they trust. They also refer to people they trust.
Totally. And now you're not just sitting with half a point. And now you're just not just sitting with one potential sale. You're sitting with 50 all of a sudden, 100. Lifetime. You just
a lifetime
channel of referrals. And correct me if I'm wrong, Stephen, is that one of your marketing secrets?
It is. I'm not in this game to make a quick sale. I am not in business to sell one of my services and then move on. I'm in this for longevity. I like working on multiple different projects, and I'm fortunate enough where people come to me now to work on their projects with them.
And then you end up accidentally creating more services.
Yeah, to the point where I am accidentally offering new services that up until recently I had been saying no to. So yeah, I now also offer mentoring services on top of the copywriting, and I actually really enjoy it. It's again about building that trust, building those relationships, helping other people to understand and cultivate that trust as well. I'm just having a great time. I love it.
Awesome. So Wolfgang, you said, sorry, Wolf, I keep forgetting. Wolf, you said you had some more tips for us, right?
So how to greatly network is, to me, is like what I always do. But that's like when I look for, let's say there's a party, I always look for the most dangerous person in the room.
Wow.
Dangerous means I don't like them. They look so arrogant. They look, it depends. Or they are too, oh, it's a superstar. It depends on my mood who's dangerous. I also, and so sometimes even, I don't know, like, it depends. On some days I'm bold, some I'm not. So, and I always approach them and say like, I picked you. I would like to get to know you. Like, what? Okay, why do you pick me? I thought you are the most dangerous person in this room. And then, especially like really tall guys, they make themselves small. Like, oh no, I'm not dangerous. Why do you say that? And I thought you're really interesting, but I think you look like a challenge. What do you do? And then they start being so vulnerable and they open up, and I usually have the most amazing conversations.
Wow.
And
That is a really cool tip.
And also, like, I feel a little bit more brave because I faced my fears, and they are always nice people. I said, yeah, the wolf has a big heart.
Oh, that is such a cool story. I love that. That's really cool. Maybe Marlon, do you have a tip for us?
Sure. You know, what happens with a lot of people in business is that they hold on to their idea, and that is like, it's so dangerous for business. You know, unless you have something that's like super like brand new, and I don't know, most likely you're probably going to be stuck with that idea for the rest of your life, and someone's going to come up with it anyways. But I'm just saying, people tend to hold on to the ideas, and then when they hold on to those ideas, they don't give, by extending it to somebody else, you're actually giving yourself an opportunity to connect to what what can either make your product or your service better, the people that they're connected to, and things like that. And it just it gets you out. You know, I think someone mentioned it earlier. I think it might have been in the chat. You know, be bold. You know, just step outside, get out of your own way, because if you can do that, then the world will open up in a whole different way for you. And I mean, it's done that for me in this space of marketing, where I felt, okay, I needed to change trajectory a bit. And the first place I thought of is like, okay, network. Let's get into network, and just literally go on Google and type in networking events. And then you'll be surprised. There'll be a whole bunch of answers there. And then you just click on one of them and you see, okay, maybe this one's for me. And with this group, this was for me. And I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this chance. I'm going to take a little step. Oh, there's a cost. Okay, let me take that cost. You know, just take those small steps, and that's how you get to meet wonderful people like these.
I love it. You know what I love especially about it, Marlon, especially about you? You're in digital marketing, right?
Yeah.
But you're all about the human element. I find that so refreshing.
Thank you.
I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it just shows again, you know, it's not even like it's digital marketing or the human element. Like when COVID hit, people like were speaking to me, like all my entrepreneurs, they're like, oh my goodness, community has come to an end. There will be no relationships again ever because everything moved online. And I was like, no, now we use the tech to make the connections even better.
Exactly.
Take the best of both worlds, put them
Mm.
together, put everything together in one pot, and then you have paradise.
Well, and we have met some of the most incredible people all over the world. It's been, hey Simon, who's smiling up there in the corner. There have been some incredible connections made. And from that have come stronger relationships. I mean, to the degree that they become personally involved on a level of, how was your day? You know, like, did you achieve that goal today? That personal connection. You needed to do this. Did you manage to get it done? You know, can I help you? You don't just, it doesn't just arrive. You've got to go out and find it, and then you've got to nurture it and water it like a plant, make it grow.
Take care of it. Take care of those relationships. When you're in a tribe, though, it becomes a lot easier to take care of a multitude of amazing relationships. You know, because we're all on the group together. We all chat on WhatsApp every day. When you're feeling down, you can pop onto a training session. You can hop onto the coffee shop group, and your family, your business family, is right there.
Mm.
It's stunning.
What's funny is, like, even if you're doing digital marketing, you're marketing to a human. So it's the human that's going to buy from you. So you have to, even if it's a business to business communication, you're marketing to a human being. So you have to be human. You have to bring that element to it. Otherwise, you know, it's like we're not robots.
I want
Go
to
on.
expand on that just a quick little bit. Marlon's absolutely right. There's over the years with the internet, there's developed this culture of what professional language looks like. There's this culture of what a business must be saying. And it's right, even in the B2B space, you are selling to people. Okay, so if your client is another business, they eat pizza too. Like, it's not, we aren't robots. And I think that it's important to remember that, especially from a networking and from a marketing perspective. Sorry, David.
No. That's cool, my buddy. It's cool. If I can add just something to you, you know, this is a valuable thing I want to have people know. One of the first things that I was taught when it was starting in networking, which was when I was 15, sorry. So we're talking about 22 years ago. The guy said to me, you need to go and stand in front of a mirror. Look in that mirror. If you can sell to yourself, you can sell a product. If you want to build a network, you need to talk to yourself, and you must get so excited that you're actually writing down your own story. So keep that in mind. You know, it's connecting everything that's been said, and it's all about, you need to be able to believe so much in yourself. Like when you meet somebody, like when you meet Wolf, when we meet Stephen or Marlon or Teresa or anybody here, you want them to write down your story. As soon as they know who you are, they will believe what you say. You know, a good president will be able to tell the nation to do something without them knowing if it's really true, but they believe in him. So that's what we need to do.
I love that. And David, is that where you promised us you're going to make that video where you're like, hi, David, I just want to say thank you to you for being here today. That's really amazing. Why, thank you, David. It's incredible to be here.
That's coming.
I can't wait for it. Please, come on. That's going to be excellent. Okay, guys, so it's that time of the show. We're going to start pulling up the rest of the tribe that's been hiding in the background seats, and there's no one that I think is getting more into this than the one and only Linda Dink. She is smiling right now. Linda, please show us your mug, and then can you comment or question or?
When she meant mug, she meant your cup.
Oh,
Smile, and the world smiles back.
Yay!
That is my take on today. Wow, guys, this has been incredible. I can't get over it. It's just too amazing. All of you. And I, apart from Wolfgang, sorry, we were meant to meet this morning, but I forgot that I had a webinar to do, but we'll hopefully meet soon. But otherwise, I've met all of you, and you're just incredible people. And I feel like I'm learning so much from this tribe. So I have two questions. My first one is just a general one to all of you. It is, after probably all of us 3 global networking events, you have definitely met between 20 and 50 people, I'm guessing. Do you try and follow up with everyone? And if not, how do you select who you build the next level relationship with? Anybody can take it.
I don't mind starting with that.
Okay.
I think that relationships are very important, and relationships are a two-sided thing. It's a give and take. So generally, when you are forming a relationship, you want to form a relationship with somebody that you actually are, and it's nothing to do with the physical, but there is an attraction of that person that actually attracts you to them. There's something about them that you want to talk to them. And that is the best way to actually decide which people to actually interact with, because there is that initial interest. You will find people that will be attracted to you, and the feeling is not mutual. You may want to be able to interact with them, but you might not want to develop that too much further. But it's a natural progression to actually find out, and sometimes it'll even happen. It's not like you're writing a list and you're making choices. Those relationships will naturally happen, and the next thing you know, you are in a relationship with somebody that has felt the same way about you as what you felt about them. It happens quite naturally. So I wouldn't make it too technical and write a list, and I'm going to get back to this person and not this person, and then this person and not that person. I wouldn't make it technical at all. Just let it naturally happen.
It's like people that they just catch your eye. Like Linda, I always use you as an example. You popped into that first station and you popped into my room, and you were just like, it was like the sun entered the station. And you were there with your Glee jar, and you had this title of your pitch was still, I teach people how to pee with Glee. And I was just laughing so much, and I was like, I have to speak to this person. I want more sunshine in my life. I want more sunshine for the tribe. So yeah, it's very natural.
It was exactly the same when we met Simone for the first time. There was this natural connection where it was like,
this is my little sister.
We were hosting an event, it was a training session, in which we had invited her to, and instead of trying to keep control, she had some information that she needed to get out there because it was within her field or within her expertise, and she got to deliver that. And during that process, we built this strong bond. And things like that don't just break. It's those things are longevity, and good business comes from that. So, and at the same time, don't develop bonds just to do business, because that's fake. If you're going to fake it, be elsewhere. We don't want you in our space. People can see through a fraud a mile away. But be authentic, be yourself. And if people don't, if one person doesn't like you for you, then somebody else will. You don't have to crave, well, why doesn't this person like me? Well, they don't because they don't. It just is what it is. Be authentic, and authentic people will be attracted to you. Those are authentic relationships.
Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, I don't want to steal everything, but I just want to quickly say this, Stephen. Like, I can remember, actually, I was thinking now for each of you who it was, what it was. So with Linda, it was the sun thing. Teresa, I'm like, I'm sorry, Teresa, I was the hat. it's always going to be that. With David, it was definitely the magazine, but also the way that you presented yourself. You like the most humble.
So cool.
You're the most humble magazine editor in the world, my friend. I just had to get to know you. Stephen, with you, it was, and I always tell you, it's like you're a bear, you have this freaking insane CV of lists of things, and people are going wild and falling at your feet, and you're just like the most humble, bare, chill, like happy little person in the world. It's incredible. With Marlon, it was definitely the human aspect that he kept like pushing across and speaking, and then also it was because as soon as Stephen Westwood found Marlon, he was like, look what I found. Tribe. Look what I found. And
with Wolfgang, it was the guitar. I'm sorry, but it was your guitar. It was just the way you stood up and you were like, you know what, when are we going to make music?
That was it. Okay.
Can I just point out, you've proven something that I've put in my post about networking but not spoken about, something memorable, something human about each of us, but most importantly, something authentic.
And that's where the Connect and Captivate sessions are going to come in. Stephen, now that you've so brilliantly brought that in, do you want to speak about it? Maybe with the wizard helping you out? No, you don't want to speak about it?
He muted himself. Stephen, you want to talk about that? No, I'm going to put myself on mute.
I'm going to ignore, move on. Can you repeat the question, please? I've already forgotten.
It was the Connect and Captivate conversation. Okay, so guys, for those of you that don't know yet, right, this is a very engaged tribe. So we move very quickly and we make very agile decisions. So after the previous speed networking event, they actually came to us, and I think Stephen Levy still organized the task force to talk about the concept of elevator pitch. And we came up with that the elevator pitch is great, but it doesn't really, it's not us. We are more like authentic, we're more about sparking real relationships, you know. So if that's where we're going, then we can't have elevator pitches, it needs to be something else. So we came up with the concept of the Connect and Captivate 1-minute conversation starter. That is what we're going to be doing at the next network.
So elevator pitches are a thing of the past.
Yeah. So I don't know who wants to tell us more about that. I know in the meeting was Stephen Westwood, the wizard, and Stephen Levy. Feel free to speak, any of you.
So it started off with me mentioning to Stephen and Teresa that again, it's all to do with language, and elevator pitch kind of implies sales. It kind of implies it doesn't encapsulate, like I said, what we are about. So I spoke to Teresa about it and I spoke to Stephen about it, and then it kind of, Stephen took charge and organized this brainstorming session that I unfortunately had to quickly leave. But yeah, so Teresa, do you want to take over?
Yeah, sure. We all had noticed one lady in our group at the last online speed networking event, Netta, that she kept saying, it's not an elevator pitch, it's not an elevator pitch. So we all kind of talked about that. And we all kind of felt the same, because we felt like people get nervous. They come up with their 1-minute speech, and it's like, they feel like they now have to sell to 80 or 100 people. And how do you connect and captivate with a sales pitch? There's no way anybody's going to know exactly what you do or know you personally by doing that. So why not connect with them in another way? And what Peter just did by saying, and what Nestine did by saying how they each were connected and captivated by each one of us, is exactly what we need to be doing in that same kind of forum, is to show our true authentic selves. And that's where the brainstorming came from. And Stephen Levy, you might want to elaborate on that if you'd like.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it just came out naturally. So it was through connecting. And it was through connecting and speaking up about the networking event and not what we were looking to sell in the network event, because we had all made, and that comment that Teresa said stood out for us is, you know, not the elevator pitch. I can't remember what was before that. But that kind of sparked it off. And we just felt that, or I felt that, you know, you come into the networking event and we say you shouldn't be selling, you should be forming relationships. But we came in trying to sell our elevator pitch. And it puts you under pressure. You know, is it good enough? Is it not good enough? Am I doing it right? Am I not doing it right? Whereas, and I know Peter Hingston has just always promoted this, is, you know, it's have coffee before you do business. And let's find out about each other. And that wasn't finding out about each other. It was putting each other under pressure. So you struggled to show up as your authentic self. And then it just happened. Yeah. There's nothing else I can say. It was great open conversations with both Steve and Teresa. Learned so much about each of them in those conversations on the same day. And yeah, something just happens and says, well, let's get online. And I want to, if I may just say right now, is that out of the 5 panelists, it was just so awesome what each of them said. You know, I'm going to remember Marlon. I'm going to just, every time I think of a train track, I'm going to remember Marlon. And Teresa knows that with her hat. And Steve, you know what stands out to me always with Steve, and you just said it's like a bear, is his jersey. Steve's always got like a woolen jersey on. And Wolfgang, with your heart that you just showed, that was like insane. So there's always, we remember things about them. If I want to find out about what they do and if we can collaborate or not, then we can set up a one-to-one call. You know, same with Linda, like her glee job. You know, those are the things you remember. You can't remember everybody's elevator pitch where you're sitting in a room of 50 people or 80, or when it gets to 200, I didn't say if, when, and when it gets to David's target of 1,000, how are you going to remember everybody's elevator pitch? So another thing I want to highlight that we spoke about, the 3 of us, so what did you remember about certain people? And we just each mentioned names. And if you take the one that stands out for me was Dan Warburton. Yes, I remember what he does, but what stood out for me was his picture and his background of that island. And then, of course, Dan himself. But, you know, it's those...
He doesn't drink coffee. He only drinks decaf coffee.
Okay, but we'll forgive him for certain things. But it's, it's, you know, it's that. And, yeah, this afternoon was, the 5 of you were just flipping awesome. And I must echo what Linda said, is we're just learning from you, you know. And we all say it's about relationships. And everybody says that. People buy from people. We come into networking. It's about relationships. And then we go and try and sell our product or our service. What happened to the relationship? So I think maybe we're going to give new meaning to networking.
Yay! That's so beautiful. I'm so happy that you caught it, Stephen. You're going on the next promo video.
I won't remember that. I'll ask Linda to remember that for me.
Guys, thank you so much. I am a bit wary of the time, because I do know our 5 panelists have done so much to just like be here. I think like, especially like the wolf rushed out of his one meeting, and I'm pretty sure he's going back to the next one now. So I don't want to keep us too long, but this has been absolutely magical. I am so humbled to be in your presence. I think you've given a ton of value. I'm going to be putting it out there. I'll put you guys' links in there. Thank you, Tribe. You're incredible. And if you have any closing comments, now would be the time to say them, or forever keep your peace. Until next time.
Okay, I do have a closing comment. I just want to say one thing about collaboration and connection, that what you see here today with this group is synergy. That's it. That's
I
my
have a
closing
closing
statement.
comment. I wish my closing comment went first now because it's not going to be as good as that.
Go for it.
So yeah, my closing comment is, hi, I'm Stephen Westford. I don't like eating potatoes, and that includes chips. It also includes mashed potato and roast potato and any other kind of potato you can think of.
The potato man. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Steven. That's how you do it, guys. That is how to make work.
Thank you
Well,
so
then I
much.
want to share mine because they taught me my elevator pitch. So can I start?
Go for it.
Got you.
Yeah.
You thought I was frozen.
I love it.
No, you can't do that. You guys are teasing me now.
I do have one. I do have one thing to say. So what happens, and going back to the whole thing of people like to hold on to the ideas. So imagine you have a candle, right? And you are the wax. So you light the candle. What ends up happening is you burn all the wax. But what does it take for one candle to light another? And how many more candles can be lit, and how much more of a flame can you all have if you work together? So and really that's what networking is for me. It just when that clicked in my brain, it's like, I'm not going to hold on to anything anymore. There's no point in it. It's just so much easier to just, because there's always something you can give, and there's only so much you can take, but there's so much that you can give. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Anyone else? Any closing comments? You good to go? No closing
I'm just going to
comments?
say again to Peter and Esteem,
No.
A big shout out to you.
you've just started. You don't know what you've started, and you will give a new meaning to networking. We got to find another word for it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the next mission. Stephen,
Oh,
you're
it's-
gonna have to do
yeah,
another
it's-
brainstorming session.
Yeah, it's nest working. You're building a nest.
Ah,
That's what you
there
do.
you go. You see, we got creative people here, man.
Oh, Tribe, you are incredible. I love each and every single one of you to bits. Facebook fans, if you're watching right now, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're feeling a bit lonely, if you don't know where to go, if you're looking for clients, if you're looking for anything at all, come to our next global online speed networking event. We'll teach you how to network with us. The Wolf will have his guitar there. The Wizard will have her hat. Stephen Westwood will not have potatoes there. And we'll just see you there, and it's going to be incredible.
And if I'm not mistaken, we will also be meeting our secret Santa.
We will be having some secret Santas as well. So it's going to be epic. We want to see you there. And panelists, you've been incredible. Thank you. And goodbye to all, and have a stunning, stunning day.